jumping on. This is day 8 of Double the Love. And we are going to be talking about how you can finally get that thing that you keep saying that you want. So have you ever been super frustrated with yourself for setting an important goal, but you just can't seem to follow through with it? Maybe you've been making the same New Year's resolution year after year, but for whatever reason, you just can't seem to make any progress towards actually accomplishing it. Maybe you've told yourself you want to lose weight, but then you keep falling off your healthy eating plan. Or maybe you've set the goal to save some money up for a family vacation, but then you continue to keep spending more money than you're bringing in. Or maybe you've told yourself, this is mine. Maybe you've told yourself you're going to start going to bed early each night, but you continue to stay up late every single night and find yourself exhausted at the start of each day, going on 3 years. Or maybe you've decided you want to spend more time with a child, friend, or spouse, but you continue to spend the same amount of time in front of the TV instead. So I'm willing to bet that everyone listening to this has experienced some version of this frustration in some area of your life, where your own actions stop you from getting what you say that you want. So we're going to talk about what we call hidden icebergs. So if you can imagine an iceberg, a huge block of ice floating in the water, our conscious thoughts and feelings are the part of the iceberg that stick out above the surface, while our unconscious thoughts and beliefs are the part of the iceberg that remain underwater, hidden from view, but still exert a massive influence over our behavior. So I think we would like to think that our desires, our dreams, our goals are driven by what we are consciously choosing. However, our unconscious mind is actually the far more powerful force. So if you think about an iceberg, this is a fun fact about icebergs. What's under the water actually makes up 90% of the iceberg. So let's take the example of someone who says they want to improve their financial situation. This person might have all kinds of dreams and visions for what this could look like in their life. But if this person is unconsciously not ready to make those changes to improve their financial situation, they will undoubtedly seek out and find any and all excuse as to why progress can't be made in that area. So some excuses you might hear, they might say things in their head or vocally, oh, the timing's not right, I'll do it next year. Or I'm too busy. It's not a good market right now anyway. I'm way too exhausted at this time in my life. Once things slow down, then I'll make changes. I don't have any support. My spouse is not going to agree with what I want to do. And so what happens? No action is made towards the goal that this person was so excited to achieve. And the sad thing is about all these thoughts and excuses going through your head is none of them are facts. They're stories, they're excuses being made up in your head. You can't prove that your spouse is not going to support your decision. You can't prove that the timing is not right. Maybe it is the perfect timing. So this can be a really hard pill to swallow when you realize that you will only be able to stop the thing that is getting in the way of you making progress towards your goals when you admit that you are that thing that's stopping your progress. So when you admit that you are holding on to an unconscious commitment, or maybe several unconscious commitments of actually staying exactly where you are, that's your commitment, is to stay exactly where you are unconsciously. So it's very difficult to admit that you're unconsciously avoiding the very thing that you are consciously saying that you want. So instead of admitting that, a lot of people will say things like this. What are you talking about? There's nothing more that I would love than to lose weight. It's not my fault that my mother-in-law made chocolate chip cookies today and I had to eat one so that she wouldn't be offended. Or another example for this is mine. I would love nothing more than to go to bed early every single night so I can wake up feeling refreshed. It's not my fault that I have so much to do every single day that I have to stay up till midnight to get it all done. Or another one, I would love to have more money. Who wouldn't want more money? But it's not my fault that this is how much a new iPhone costs. Or last one, I would love to exercise more. I would love to get in shape. It's not my fault that it happened to rain today. Otherwise, I totally would have exercised if it weren't for the rain, right? So it's really easy to consciously say we want something, but then unconsciously put the blame on anything and everything else. So the whole purpose of admitting that you are actually the reason why you haven't gotten the results that you say you want, it isn't to make you feel bad. The reason why we want to become aware of this is because it is the only way to help you uncover the mental blocks that are preventing you from reaching your goals. So once you can honestly admit that you are actually committed to staying up late every night, living paycheck to paycheck, eating unhealthy food, and keeping your marriage relationship exactly the way it is, only then, once you admit it, will you stop resisting the change that is necessary in order to see different results. So, does that mean that you're lying when you say you want these things, even though you still haven't accomplished them? Maybe you've put it on your New Year's resolution for the past 5 years. Does that mean you're lying to yourself? No, but what it probably means is that you're really scared. You're scared of leaving your comfort zone. You're scared of the changes that are going to happen. And so unconsciously, your mind is really doing the only thing it knows how to do, which is protect you from harm. So the thing about our unconscious mind is it really doesn't really know how to tell the difference between a real threat that could cause you physical harm and an imagined threat that has the potential to hurt your ego. So when you're about to leave your comfort zone to accomplish these goals you've set for yourself, it can be super exciting and you can be really excited about your future. But it's also full of a lot of uncertainty, and your ego has no idea if it's going to arrive unharmed. So you start wondering, but what if I fail? What will other people think? What if my friends and family disapprove? What if I can't even handle the pressure of being successful? So all of these thoughts quickly make us want to just crawl back into our box of comfort, because our subconscious mind really craves that familiarity and just likes your self-image just the way that it is. So how do we move past this? The first step is just becoming aware that this is even happening. Most people are not even aware of their unconscious beliefs and thoughts. The next step is to consciously decide that you want to override the very well-intentioned protection system so that you can get your desired outcome with the results that match up with what you say that you want, or with what you've been saying you want for years. So this requires a lot of honesty with ourselves to recognize that we are actually our own obstacle unconsciously, and then a willingness to consciously commit to turning the situation around. So I have some action steps for you, 4 steps that you can take. The first one is to think about a situation in your own life where you might have some unconscious commitments that are holding you back from achieving the results that you say you want. If you need help coming up with an idea, think about things that you find yourself constantly complaining about over and over. Maybe it's a physical health goal, or a financial goal, or a time freedom goal, or a relationship goal. Again, if you need help, think about what your New Year's resolutions have been for the past 5 years. And if it's something that's reoccurring, that's probably one that has some unconscious commitments behind. So next step is to write down or say out loud the real unconscious truth as to why you haven't reached your goal yet. So these could be, so for example, you could say, I am actually committed to blaming everything or everyone else for my own lack of action. I am committed to finding excuses. I am committed to telling myself that I am too tired. I'm committed to telling myself that I am too busy. I'm committed to presenting myself as the victim. I am committed to eating unhealthy food. And chances are this is going to feel really uncomfortable, because you are going to want to defend yourself and say, but it really was not my fault. So resist that temptation, which leads us to number 3, which is letting go of any self-judgment. So as you do this, just remember, you are not a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad person just because your subconscious was committed to keep you from changing. It's its natural protection system. So maybe even take the time to thank your subconscious for trying to protect you from harm, and then let it go. Even though it was imagined harm, it was trying to protect you. So the fourth and final step is to create a conscious commitment that will override the unconscious one. So some examples of that could be, I am committed to taking the best care of myself. I am committed to making my physical health a priority in my life. I am committed to finding creative ways to be physically active throughout the day, even when I'm busy, even when it rains. I am committed to taking 100% responsibility for my actions in my relationship. And I just want to end with this quote right here. You were always ready. You just need to give yourself permission to get out of your own way. If you're searching for the one person that will change your life, take a look in the mirror. Thank you.